Hey there, I'm estate planning attorney Paul Rabelais, and in this video I'm going to back up for a moment and discuss how some people's mindset should be shifted when it comes to estate planning. You see, some people that I've talked to over the years enter the estate planning conversation perhaps even after doing some of their own Googling, and they say something like, Paul, I have my list of what I need, and I need, number one, a last will and testament. Number two, durable power of attorney. Number three, healthcare power of attorney or healthcare directive. And number four, a living will, and I think I need a living trust. Or sometimes someone will talk to me after talking to their financial advisor, and their financial advisor, who kind of knows enough to be dangerous, gave them a list of legal documents that they should have. But to me, putting your initial focus on the names of the legal documents that you think you need is the incorrect way to look at estate planning. Focusing on what documents should be part of the estate planning process doesn't truly focus on a person's genuine estate planning needs. Sure, those customized legal documents are likely to be the instruments that can help you accomplish your objectives, but the ideal estate planning conversations between, for example, an attorney and their client will speak to the client's needs and emotions, which are more likely to resonate on a deep level and provide more inspiration for the client to take action to address the problem. For example, on the occasion when a prospective client comes to me after having done some self-education or after having talked to their financial advisor or their accountant, and the first thing out of their mouth is something like, Paul, I need a will, power of attorney, etc., I say, for now, let's forget about all those legal terms and legal documents and focus in layman's terms on what you want to accomplish. I'll likely say, is there anything on your mind about your family or your estate or the settlement of your estate that you want to make sure we address as part of getting your estate in order? And if I ask the question correctly, I'll likely hear something like, well, you know, Paul, when I die, I just don't want my wife to go through a bunch of red tape. I want to make it easy for her to maintain access to everything we've worked for. I don't want her to get hung up with lawyers and the government. Or I might hear, Paul, I have this child who can't handle money at all, and if you give him a nickel, he'll spend a quarter. I just don't want to dump a bunch of money in that child's lap, so I'd like to see what my options are. Or I might hear, I can't stand paying taxes. I feel like I've paid my share during my lifetime and I'd like to keep as much as I can in the family. Or I might hear, I just want to make it easy for my kids. I would hope that things can be set up so that my kids and their spouses won't get into any arguments when me and my spouse pass away. Or I might hear, I want to make sure that this particular person inherits this particular asset, but I want to be fair to the rest of my heirs. For example, you may want to leave your home or your business to one or more particular heirs. Or I might hear, you know, Paul, I'm not getting any younger. I want to make sure that either when I die or if my mind starts to go, I've set things up to make it easy for the right people to make the decisions that need to be made when I can't make them. Now, upon someone telling their attorney the objective is to, quote, get some documents, the skilled attorney will immediately divert the conversation from getting some documents to finding out what emotional needs you have and then working with you to customize an estate planning program that solves every estate planning concern that you have. Let's look at it another way. Which of the following two statements would you rather hear when putting your estate in order? Number one, this is your notarized last will and testament. It designates your executor and your heirs. Or number two, this is what puts your oldest child in charge of settling your estate since you said he's organized and he has an excellent relationship with all your heirs. And here's where you provided that your daughter, who you said can't handle money at all, will receive a monthly distribution after you pass away for the rest of her life, so she'll always have a place to live. You said that was your biggest worry. You see, some lawyers, accountants, and some financial advisors often speak in a foreign language, using jargon that ordinary people find confusing and annoying. People simply want to feel secure knowing Not that they signed a list of documents, but that they are leaving a positive legacy for their closest loved ones, and they're doing it in a way where the lives and relationships of their survivors can flourish rather than blow up. So rather than beginning the estate planning conversation with a list of legal documents you need, the conversation should start with the real life objectives you're trying to achieve with your estate planning, and then move toward how the various legal instruments can help you achieve those outcomes. And with the statistics showing that 67% of Americans have no estate plan, I think part of the reason for that is because the attorneys and so-called other experts are too focused on getting signatures on a predetermined list of documents instead of focusing on the real, logical, and emotional needs that someone has when attempting to put estate legal affairs in order. It's like a conversation I had yesterday with a gentleman who initially told me he thinks he needs a trust, but when we dug just a little bit deeper, he said, "Paul, I've accumulated some assets and really my life is complete, except for this one estate planning piece. I want to die in peace knowing that my wife and kids are going to be okay." You see, it wasn't the fact that he wanted a trust that was inspiring him to hire a lawyer and take that action. It was the fact that he wanted that peace that comes with setting up his estate the right way for his survivors. Now, how do you get to have that conversation with an estate planning attorney that will focus and deep dive on your biggest concerns? Well, it's tough because you need to have this in-depth conversation with an attorney who's an excellent listener, has lots of experience dealing with people in similar situations, and is not afraid to ask you the tough but necessary questions that will enable you to uncover and resolve your true concerns and desires about how you want your estate handled in the future for yourself and your family. But if you want to take a stab at having this kind of conversation where your deep down estate needs and objectives are revealed, along with what the solutions might be to meet those needs, then if you want to, click the link in the description below to request a Zoom meeting to do just that. And because this video is unlike other videos I've made, I'd like to invite you in the comments below to describe just one of those unique needs or objectives that you have deep down that you'd hope your estate plan would accomplish. And if you're thinking your main objective in estate planning is to get a trust or get a will, then you're not digging deep enough. What I'd be looking for in the comments is the why you think you need that certain instrument and what that will accomplish for yourself or your closest loved ones. Your well thought out comments just may inspire others to take action. Okay, that's it for today. See you next time.